The following is a presentation of DangerZone Productions.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the month of February. Okay, so I'm a few days late, so sue me. Yes, February, the month where everybody goes out of their way to do something special for that special someone in their life. Unless you're like me, in which case you just kinda sit around at home by yourself watching crappy movies, wondering what you did to deserve such a meager existence. But anyway, being that it is the month of love, I would like to share something with you guys at home that I particularly love. Horror movies. I don't know what it is about horror movies. There's just something about them that just always catches my attention. Whether it's a comedy horror, slashers, monster movies, thrillers, you name it, it pretty much shares a very special place in my heart. And I've got a pretty extensive collection of horror movies. But there's one movie I've got in particular that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. This is an interesting movie that kind of gives a little twist on the whole killer hillbilly movie. We've all heard the stories before, you know, what with Wrong Turn and, well, The Hills Have Eyes. But Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is a very different kind of story. And it also shows just how quickly and just how easily people can take things the wrong way. And how, you know, jumping to conclusions can not only be misleading, but in some cases can even be deadly.
Are you sure we should be doing this?
The first thing we see as the movie begins is this old stock footage from the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, but don't we need like a press pass or a permit or something?
Press pass this! You know, the police missed something here. I can feel it. What do you say, Billy? Won't a Peabody Award look great up on your...
Boom, headshot. Geez, you know, I was kidding about this looking like the Blair Witch Project, but you know, it actually is pretty close to the original thing.
Now you guys are probably wondering why we just saw Two-Face murder two reporters at the beginning of this movie. How does this tie into the movie? What does it have to do with anything? Well, as far as what it has to do with anything goes, I don't know, because they never show or reference that clip again throughout the movie. But, as far as it tying into things, it does kind of tie into what happens at the end of the movie. But we'll get to that when the time comes.
Cut to a mere 3 days ago, and we see a bunch of college kids are heading up into the mountains for a camping trip. Aren't they always? They have a near miss with our two main characters from the title, which leads to the two groups having a very awkward staring contest.
Did you see the way those guys looked at us?
But then one of the college kids comes to a startling realization.
We forgot the beer.
Good Lord. Imagine if they had forgotten something really important. Oh my God. I forgot my cell phone! Ah!
So of course, since they can't go without booze on their trip, they stop at a convenience store? Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Okay, that little kid right there is probably the closest thing to a hillbilly that you are ever gonna see in this movie. Everybody else just kinda looks more like a dumb redneck than a hillbilly. After a little awkwardness in the convenience store, we're finally introduced to our two main characters, Tucker and Dale, played by Tyler LeBain and Alan Tudyk. After a little coercion, Tucker finally convinces Dale to man up and go talk to some of the college girls.
You know something? You're right, Tuck. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
I'm gonna do it right now.
All right, hold up. All right, no. Whatever you say, just smile and laugh. That shows confidence.
Smile and laugh.
Yeah, smile and laugh. You know, because it works so well for the Joker. And if that doesn't work, tell him you were in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's sure to get him.
You're looking cooler.
Fail! That's what happens when you try to talk to bimbos. And why does he have a scythe anyway? Ah, don't worry, Dale. There's always next time.
I got a rag. Here, Tuck. Move your arm.
Whoa, 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 whoa! When did this turn into a scene from Deliverance?
This movie just took an awkward twist. Well, at least it can't possibly get any worse.
You have a reoccurring dream about sucking a dick, but you never do it. Are you gay?
Yes.
Yes. Really?
Next scene.
While the rest of the kids decide to go skinny dipping, Allison, played by Katrina Bowden, decides to stay behind for a moment when she gets the sudden feeling that she's being watched.
God, Chad, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, what do you think this is? A crappy horror movie?
Funny.
No, it wasn't.
Know each other better.
You're
That's a good thing.
Wow, that kid became really creepy really fast.
come on, stop.
Why? Okay. Hush.
Anyway, the college kids happen to be skinny dipping in the very same lake that Tucker and Dale are fishing in. So naturally, being the pervert that Tucker is, he wants to take a glimpse. Allison unfortunately mistakes them for a couple of peeping toms, which results in her falling into the lake like the dumbass that she is, leading Tucker and Dale to come to her rescue.
You were helpless, do you know?
But of course, Allison's friends don't quite see it that way.
Ah, we got your friend! Oh God! They got Allison!
Now, to be fair, if I had screamed something as incoherent and nondescriptive as, "Hey, we've got your friend," people probably would have taken that the wrong way too. A little description in what you're trying to get across isn't gonna kill you, pal. I mean, couldn't you have said something like, "Hey, we were sitting here fishing and your friend saw us and then she thought we were peeping on her, so she fell off a rock and hit her head and fell into the water, so we came to save her. Come and help!"
So after awakening to find that her injuries have been taken care of, Allison decides to thank her good Samaritans in the best way possible.
No, please.
By screaming like an insipid
Better come look at
It
this.
doesn't take long, however, for Allison's friends to soon find Tucker and Dale's cabin and begin plotting on how exactly they intend to go about getting their friend back.
Oh, yeah?
I swear to God, no.
But while they're outside plotting, Allison begins to realize that her would-be captors are not exactly captors at all. In fact, they might actually be decent people.
Yeah, but don't.
You know, I actually had a dream one time that this is how the show Operation Repo was going to end. Somebody finally just snaps and kills one of the Repo agents. And just ignore that shitty cliche while you're at it! Judas Priest, dude, drop the damn chainsaw. Unless you're being attacked by bees the size of cows, I really don't think it's gonna do you any good.
Crap, man. Look at that. It's like his stomach blood on the ground back there. You don't see that every day.
Well, needless to say, the rest of the college kids don't take their buddy's death too well.
It doesn't work out here.
Well, it damn sure isn't gonna work now, you nut.
We gotta get to the road and try to catch a ride out of here.
We don't need a ride out of here. Don't you get it? This is what it's all about. It's us against them. Survival of the fittest.
Okay, seriously, what is up with this kid? I mean, his transition from okay to completely batshit insane is so sporadic, I feel like I'm getting visual whiplash.
Well, needless to say, it doesn't take Tucker and Dale long to go out into the woods to look for them.
Everybody, there's something wrong with your brain.
I know, you keep telling me that. Well, I'll tell you what. When we get back, I'll finish her off real quick, and then we'll get back.
Would someone explain to me how it is they cannot see this group of kids? I mean, they're only hiding behind a small pile of wood. It's not like it's hard to see. What the hell? You don't see that either? There's a kid impaled on a tree no less than 5 feet away from you, and you don't notice this. What the
Okay, I feel I should probably bring this up. Throughout the entire course of this movie, you'll begin to notice that there is a gratuitous use of the words hillbilly and college kids. They say it a lot, people. A lot. It gets kind of old after a while. In fact, it gets old after the first 10 minutes. You don't believe me? Look at this.
College girls.
Hillbillies. What hillbillies?
College kids! College kids!
Doing a good job.
Meanwhile, back at the plot, Allison decides that since she's there and all, she's gonna lend Tucker and Dale a hand. Meanwhile, her friends are planning their next attack. This isn't gonna end well. Douchebag gives the signal and they charge in for an attack. I'll spare you guys the nitty-gritty details, but needless to say, one of them gets impaled on his own spear, dumbass, and the other one dives headfirst into a wood chipper.
Okay. Time to nitpick. First of all, if you're going to attack somebody knowing that they are standing mere inches in front of a wood chipper, why would you do a running leap attack at them? Unless you're freaking Goldberg or Monty Brown and you're trying to give them the spear and or pounce, I don't think that's going to help. 2, you're attacking them with a little pissant screwdriver that's got little to no range on it whatsoever. Even if this guy is a lunatic, what the hell do you think you're going to accomplish by attacking him with such an inefficient weapon? And 3, if he's standing in front of the fucking wood chipper and you're trying to kill the guy, why don't you just wait till his back is turned and he's tossing something in the wood chipper and push him in yourself? That way you would avoid stupid shit like this happening in the future.
After those two get chopped off, quite literally might I add, one of the kids, believe it or not, actually does something smart and goes to get a police officer to help them. This leads to a very unorthodox meeting when Tucker and Dale are trying to clean up the mess, thinking that these kids are actually trying to commit suicide rather than trying to kill them. But I'm sure Tucker knows how to handle this, right?
Good to see you again.
Yep.
We have had a doozy of a day.
A real doozy.
There we were.
Yep.
Minding our own business.
Yep.
Making some improvements to my new house.
The new house?
When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these kids started killing themselves all over my property.
You're being an idiot.
I'm gonna have to agree with Dr. House. I mean, it's kind of hard to take you seriously when you're dragging a severed torso behind you. Even a person with Down syndrome would see through that lie.
Fucked up.
Okay, that joke was a little far. I apologize. But you get what I'm trying to say.
But who cares about that? We've got more stupid deaths to show, like the cop getting himself stabbed in the face by a falling 2x4 full of nails, and then this little bastard decides to play with his gun and shoots himself in the face, proving that guns don't kill people, stupid people with guns kill themselves. Amazing. For payback, the college pricks decide to take Dale's dog hostage. This leads to a gunfight, well, sort of a gunfight, seeing how Dale is shooting at them with a nail gun and the other guy still has the revolver, but thankfully Tucker is there to save the dog's life. Now he has to save his own.
Oh. It is a beautiful day for a run, isn't it?
Yeah, so, long story short, they catch him.
Please, no.
I've never stood so close to pure evil before. It kind of stinks.
Fear, perspiration, a slight hint of urine. Mountain Man, the new scent from Calvin Klein.
It's at this point in the movie that they once again rip off the Blair Witch Project by leaving a severed body part in a piece of cloth. This is actually meant to lure Dale to Tucker, where the college kids have set up a trap. But as their intelligence has proven throughout the course of this movie, big shocker, it doesn't work. The two groups finally meet up, and naturally, with all the shit that they've been through, Tucker and Dale are eager to whoop some ass. But Allison attempts to try and play peacemaker to keep the violence from escalating any further.
And let's talk this out, okay?
So as they sit down to have a little chat, we finally get some semblance as to why Chad is so completely, absolutely insane. It turns out that in these very woods, a few years ago, there was an incident known as the Memorial Day Massacre, in which case a bunch of crazed hillbillies murdered a bunch of college kids. Interesting choice of vacation spot. But it also turns out Chad's parents were involved in the incident. And the interesting thing about that is that it actually ties in with some scenes earlier on in the movie when Tucker and Dale are exploring their new cabin and find all kinds of really creepy swag and newspaper clippings from the very massacre, which would indicate that most likely the cabin they're in was used by said hillbillies.
Cozy if you're Hannibal Lecter.
So Chad's parents were involved in a horrible massacre. Okay. Alright. Let me tell you something, movie. 1. Chad's parents were involved in this horrible tragedy. That's unfortunate. And yeah, I will admit, growing up hearing those tales can lead to maybe some mommy-daddy issues. But mommy and daddy issues do not cause you to go ballistic like this. Okay? I mean, and even if you knew, he f***ing knew that this was where the shit happened, and yet this is the spot he chose to bring all of his friends up here on a vacation. Okay. Okay. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, if you're coming up here to pay your condolences to the people who died, that's fine. Do that on your own time. Don't make a vacation out of it. The f*** is wrong with you? Good God. And just because all this shit, like I said before, just because all this shit happened does not mean that it will lead to serious psychological issues. Chad admits himself that this shit took place before he was born. So why would it have this much of an effect on him? He didn't even technically know his parents, other than the fact that his mother was institutionalized right after he was born. So, what? Now, I can understand feeling the emptiness of not having parents in your life, but that does not lead you to do crazy shit like this. Even after Allison explains to them that the whole thing was just one big misunderstanding, this happens.
It's showtime, freaks!
Oh, and things were going so well.
Oh, you belong, freak! Shit! Oh, shit! Chad, what the man?
Be calm. It's just a leg.
Stop! How about fire?
No, don't use that.
Stop and roll! Open up! Get away from the turn up!
Ooh. Damn. Well, at least the black guy didn't die first.
That's f***ed up.
Anyway, in typical blonde fashion, the stupid bimbo lights up a cigarette, you know, because this is the perfect time to be burning one. And because there's so many flammable chemicals around, the entire house goes up in flames. Thankfully though, Tucker, Dale, and Allison manage to escape before the house explodes. Well, I guess it's all over now.
Yeah, really.
Or is it?
I think we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Oh my God. It's the Chad 1000.
They escape to Tucker's truck, only to crash it a few feet down the road and fall unconscious in the resulting crash. When Dale awakens, he finds that Allison is missing and Tucker has been injured trying to stop Chad. And you know, I feel so sorry for this guy. He's already gotten chopped in the chest and had 2 of his fingers cut off. And he hasn't done anything to deserve this. And Dale hasn't had anything happen to him. But after the two share a little heart-to-heart, it's time for Dale to spring into action and begin his hot pursuit to find Allison and finally stick it to Chad once and for all.
With you.
What is the matter with me?
Wait, stop. He's tying her to a lumber saw. And he's planning to chop her in half. Dude, that's like a step up from tying a chick to the railroad tracks. All this guy needs is a snidely-eyed mustache and a top hat, and he'd be right up there with an old Western villain.
You've gone hillbilly on me, Allison. Now, I'm willing to forgive you. But you're gonna have to beg.
Yes, if you don't get me the DTO ranch, I'm gonna saw y'all all in half. Y'all see now here?
Finally, Dale makes his heroic entrance to save the day and probably delivers the most kick-ass line in this entire movie. What you're about to see is just pure awesomeness.
To feel my pain.
Bring it, frat bitch.
Oh, cool. You stupid backwoods cousin. Why would you throw him the chainsaw?
Leads police to the
Dale and Allison hurry upstairs, seeing how now Chad is armed with a chainsaw. Good job on that one, you nugget. When they discover some newspaper articles that reveal a startling truth. It turns out Chad's father was actually one of the killer hillbillies involved in the Memorial Day massacre. But of course Chad doesn't believe it and decides he wants to kill everybody anyway. Luckily, Dale has a backup plan.
What'd you do?
Panthermus nobilis. That's the ingredient in chamomile tea that can cause an anaphylactic reaction in rare cases where people are allergic to it.
What? Makes sense to me.
And so, Darth Chad has been defeated, Tucker is recovering nicely in the hospital, and Dale and Allison finally go out on a date. The end.
I feel the same way.
So that was Tucker and Dale versus Evil. While this movie's not the perfect movie, it is still worth watching, and it does have a good moral, being that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But there are just so many things in this movie that don't make any sense to me. Like, what was the deal with the police officer? They put emphasis on him throughout the movie. Hell, they even throw one last little emphasis on him at the end of it. But the plot point just drops. It doesn't go anywhere. Hell, they kill the poor guy halfway through the film. And Chad's psychosis doesn't make any sense to me either. He's perfectly fine when they're driving down the road, and then as soon as they get in the woods, he's completely insane. And yes, I get it. He had a really f***ed up backstory with his mom getting raped by a crazed hillbilly. And yes, some psychosis like that does run in family history. But you know what? That kind of psychoness is very rare, so no, I'm not going to buy that. And what was up with that video clip at the beginning of the movie? Were they trying to set the movie up before it was even over for some kind of sequel? Well, I certainly haven't heard of any sequel. But you can guarantee that if I do, you'll be the first to know about it. Thanks for joining me for my first ever movie review. Hopefully this won't be the last. Till next time, pleasant nightmares.
If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?